Perfect. So let's get started, man. We'll do the goal right now. So all right. So I'm here with Nick Montes. What's going on, brother?
What's up, Alex? How's it going, man?
Good, man. So Nick and I had the opportunity to work together, and Nick is doing some great things. So that's the reason I wanted to shoot this video. Now, Nick, can you give us a little background of like your age, your story, like where are you coming from, and how did you get started with the agency?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm 22 years old. Thank you for the kind words, by the way. I'm 22 years old. Um, from El Paso, Texas. Kind of got started in the agency thing. Just always been a fan of the whole founder mentality. I like entrepreneurship. But that wasn't really, I wasn't in it to really start a business. I just kind of started off making money in little ways here and there. And you just kind of realize how easy it is, not how easy it is, but how like easy money can come when you're just a little smarter about things. And so I'd always liked being a little bit smarter about getting rewards. And the agency just seemed like such a cool business model. It's low startup cost. You just need skills. Basically, it's a high revenue business model. So you're always bringing money in, but their margins are great. It's a service. So you're basically just utilizing your like mental capital or your, let's say, like your advertising knowledge, whatever it is, you're using your specific skill set in order to provide a service that they'll pay a lot of money for. And it's cool because the way it's set up is like, these guys have a lot of, um, let's say, expenses. They have a lot of things to worry about: employees, insurance, rent, all this stuff. We don't have any of that. And it allows us to start almost immediately and just start hitting the sales ASAP. And I liked how the agency model was so it's so easy for a beginner to start, but I do think it's hard for somebody to achieve the success that they want. So that's kind of why we started connecting, honestly.
Right. So when was it? When did you start the agency?
Damn, I started the agency like really thinking about it because probably a year ago, a year and like the summer before last was when I really started like thinking about it in a way where I was like, okay, like this could be a really cool thing. I started doing initial research, and that's like that summer, just kind of going to business owners to see if this is an actual thing, because I didn't know if it was just some internet hype. So I actually went on the metro down to Culver City. I went door to door just talking to business owners. I wasn't even selling at that point. I just wanted to like really understand and get into conversations with people who make these decisions. And they all said the same thing. They all said, it's hard to get patients in the door. It's really hard to get patients in the door. And there's a lot of people who hit them up about doing this stuff, and they're not that good. Either they're not that good, or they feel like it's just not as creative as it could be. They just feel like they're missing out on something. And I thought that was a legitimate opportunity to attack the market. I chose dentistry because I thought you need a niche down, just because if you try to do something for everyone, it's going to be hard to scale. But I don't even think in terms of scaling and like doing the results. It's more so just I love being able to have one type of client that I can say, this is our type of client we go after. We go after, business-minded dentists who, view themselves more as a CEO instead of, a laborer or like a scientist. They're trying to use new ways of thinking in order to increase their revenue. Whereas some dentists, they're just happy just, being normal, everyday type of, bringing home some money, not trying to do anything crazy, but, they're it's just and that was kind of hard for me to make that distinction, trying to really go for the business minded guys. But yeah, that's kind of how I started with the whole thing, kind of going straight into the dental niche. And and trying to get results for people, just hitting people up for free trials and stuff and seeing what I could do. I was in school at the time, so it sucked because I had to get my degree my senior year. That was really important to my family. And it was a lot of work, and it's hard being in an environment with, all your friends and like everybody's going out and stuff. And like, I still was able to get free trial clients, but I just didn't have it. Like, I was doing it all off YouTube videos. I didn't know what I was doing. I generated great leads for some of the top, I think it was like the top orthodontist on Yelp for Los Angeles. I landed a free trial with them, and I got good results in terms of the ads, but I didn't coach them on the follow-up at all because I didn't know that part. Like, I didn't know I had to coach them on that. I
Right.
didn't know that, like, that was one of the most essential parts, if not the most important part of this whole thing, was like coaching these guys on how to make these leads turn into dollars, turn lead into gold. If we can show them like how to actually, and it's not, a lot of people say it's not scalable, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't get on the phone, you shouldn't train them. Like, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do things that aren't scalable at first after that first experience, because I was like, if I could have gotten great results for them, that would have been huge. I would have had one of the top like businesses in medical businesses in the city, and that could have been really cool for me. But ah, I just didn't know I just didn't know what I don't know. It was totally oblivious to me. I was unaware of it, all that shit.
Right. And so what was the, because we jumped on a call, right? And you had, are you still using the same fulfillment system that we discussed on your call?
Um, I kind of switched it up a little bit because I was thinking I want to see who else can do this. I want to see who else is actually producing results for dentists, and like if they're willing to like hop on some calls and stuff. I got in a lot of Facebook groups, man. I asked a lot of people I knew, people like you, Alex, a lot of mentors type it, and like people who knew people generating results. And it's surprising, but like there's not that many people out there truly hitting it hard, getting those case studies, getting those real results. There's not that many.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, well, let me try to link up with somebody, because I was thinking if I could just use a case study that's really great, because I had some case study, but they weren't that good. I was like, I think I could improve this. So I actually uh, bought a case study from this other guy named Brett in one of these other groups, and his case study was awesome. He had a great ad strategy. So I was like, you know what, if I can just sell somebody on this by using his statistics, then I can just be he could be the white label agency behind me, and I could just sell it. Then I can see his operations, how he does everything, and then I could kind of formulate my own plan based on somebody who's really doing it out there.
Right.
And that's what I ended up doing.
Okay, perfect. And so, like, what was the reason that you decided to start working together?
I just thought that ads, everybody loves to teach ads. It's like, oh, you need to do this, and this call to action. That I don't view ads that way. I view ads more as a commodity. Whereas like you can, with Facebook, you can go check which ads are really great. There's no reason you can't just like put all the best ads in like a document, get somebody who's kind of good, be like, yo, here's some killer ads. Just take bits and pieces of what's working from there and make your own. But like, I really don't think ads are that hard to do. I think if like once you get that one recipe, you just keep going. Once that stales out, get the next recipe, get the messenger bots going. Once that's, whatever, then on to the next thing. Like it's more so about providing the solution that our clients need. And I mean, that can change whenever. I don't really view ads as much of a, I mean, I do them because I have to, because uh, I'm trying to like make a strategy, devise my own strategy that I could teach somebody else by using Brett's strategy, by using all these other ones that I've been learning. I'm trying to make my own and then trying to teach somebody that. But right now, it's hard because you have to know so many different things about your business in order to do stuff like that. In order to be able to automate this type of stuff, you have to go through it first yourself, in my
Right.
opinion. And yeah, so that's kind of how I approach ads. I don't view the agency model as something like I have to get on the ads 24, like no. I'm really way more focused on sales. Um as a as a person, like in my life, it's going to be more focused on sales, but in the short term, I have to focus on ads right now, because if I can get some really great results for these clients, I mean, the sky's the limit, because the networks are so big. Dentists are so loyal that when you really do a great job for one, they're going to tell their friends, and they're going to be really willing to do it, because I've noticed that these guys aren't as willing to try test things out. They're not as business minded as, say, like maybe a car dealership owner, where they're just going to be like, you know what, that's cool, $3,000, no big deal, like boom, boom, boom. But for a dentist, they don't really make too many business decisions. So it was tough kind of building the value in order to charge the price that I do, and get them excited and get them, like, ready to work.
Got it. So the main reason you say like to work together was like the sales component more than the ads.
Yeah, so basically the reason I wanted to work with him is because I wanted great results. And if he had great results and he could do it for one of my clients and I could see the process, I want to do that. I was basically getting paid to learn how to make great ads.
Right.
So that was a really cool thing about it. B, I did wanted to focus on sales for that portion of time. I wanted to focus on sales. So I was like, I wanted a couple clients, like pretty quick. I wanted one or two. I got the one. I was like, I think I could get a second. That was a pretty smooth like transition to the close. It was discovery meeting, closing meeting, last minute like questions on the next day, just because he was nervous. It was a big decision for him, and he was like, well, making sure it was a true long-term partnership. And then he's like, all right, let's do it. He paid, and I was like, wow, 3 meetings for a $2,900 deal a month, which is $3,000 or $34,800 per year. 3 clients would be 100K plus in yearly revenue. 30 clients would be $1 million. When you look at things like that, you start thinking more long term. You start thinking like, if you do produce great results for one, it could turn into 5. So that's kind of when I started like going more so the ads direction. When I landed that second client, I thought to myself, okay, I got a cool sales strategy. I can definitely see this going to that 30 client range. Like, that's not crazy. Like, it's not a crazy thing at all. And I don't know, like, the whole thing I was trying to focus on, and I was really focused on, because I wasn't able to book meetings. I wasn't able to book meetings like at the start of the mentorship as quickly as I would want to. Then I started booking meetings really quickly. Then I started getting discovery calls, but not really. Well, I would get a discovery call and then get the next meeting for the closing meeting, but I always felt like the closing meeting was good enough, but they weren't. They would look at the price, and they would say, like, they would be like disgusted almost at the end. They're like, what? This is like, and I was thinking to myself, like, this is not an objection. This is like, I'm not building the value. Like, this is a problem, a foundational problem in the discovery call. And I think so many people in this racket, like, they obsess about objections, and they obsess about like, oh, like, he says the price is too high, so I'm going to say, well, thanks, doctor. Dr. Pania down in Arizona said the same thing before we started working together. And what he found was that, we're actually a complement to his other services, as opposed to, pick one or the other. So he was able to see the results, exponentially increase. Like, I don't do that. And like, I don't want any objections. I think like, some people view objections as a good thing. And I guess sometimes it means like, yeah, they're in the conversation, they're ready to buy. But, based on my readings and what I've been researching, based on the data, you don't want any objections. You want to prevent any objection. You want that to be smooth as smooth as possible. Obviously, some people are always going to like try to get the price down no matter how well you did. But I think that like my main switch in my sales mentality happened when I had such productive discovery calls, and I really got the pain out of them, and I got them dreaming a little bit. I got them on the, like, I told them my story. I got them excited. They remember the story. I read somewhere that a person's 22 times more likely to remember a story than a fact. So I started implementing stories into the discovery call. I started telling them my own story. And that just kind of helps develop not only rapport, but be memorable, in their mind. And like, so I want them to be dreaming about the discovery call after the fact. Like so let's say we had a great discovery call, we end it, we schedule the next day for the closing meeting. Like, I want them to be dreaming about how this could change their business. Like, sales is all about momentum. And if you could like achieve that great momentum where they're dreaming about you after that discovery call, then you just slay it in the sales presentation. You have all the stuff up. You look official. You have your proposal document ready to go. You have, a few ebooks that you wrote, where it's like, if they ask you a question about Facebook ads or something, you don't even ask them, or you don't even like, you don't refer to your knowledge. You don't like answer the question. If they ask me a question about the pixel, I don't like answer it. I just scroll down in my proposal to like a section or like of an ebook where I like wrote like a detailed like synopsis of like what a pixel does. Like, I just try to display authority, and like, in any way I can. Like, I've thought about this before. Like, I've prepared for these questions. Like, they want to know that, like, you're not only on their side, but like you're like all about their business. You read their website, you read every page of it, you like know everything about them. Like, honestly, maybe that's what's been like best for me. Like, I just prepare for the calls, man. I just like, if I have a discovery call, I'm going to read every single detail of their website. I'm going to make notes. I'm going to see how I can connect with them on a commonality in the start of the call. Like little things. I love sales because it's like a sport. It's like, you have the game, and then after it, you can kind of tweak your stuff, kind of ask for some help from your mentors. And then you have the next game and you can slay it again. Like, it's awesome. It's like really fun. It's immediate feedback. I hate ads because it's not immediate feedback. I have to wait like 5 days to know if it's good. And I'm like, I like immediate feedback. I like sports. I like competing. I love sales. And not just, I feel like people think sales is all about, talking, being smooth, even having the stories and stuff. But what I realized was, this was a result of spin selling, getting into that whole spin selling. Great book on how to really just hone your discovery call specifically in your questioning sequence. But, you don't want to convince anybody that your product is great or that they need your service. You want to ask them questions for them to become uncomfortable. And then then they'll realize themselves by the questions you're asking, damn, this is a real problem. Then when the problem is built up big enough, the first thing I realized, bro, was like, and sorry, I'm just going off right now, but this is a topic that I was like really concerned about because it was holding me back. And the one thing I was doing that was fucking me up big time was I was introducing my solution too early in the discovery. I wasn't letting them feel the pain. And this is the one statistic in spin selling that separates, the good from the great would be, the exact time that they introduce some type of solution, some type of thing. Like when, like average salesman did it, more in the middle or whatever. Bad salesman, first thing. Great salesman, man, they let them sweat it out. They let them sweat it out, and they really build that. So I wanted to see if I could, how long I could go without explaining what I did to a client. And that ended up kind of like low key working for me because it really does get them, interested. They're like, what does this guy do? Like, he sounds like he knows what he's doing. He's asking questions. He knows the industry. He's asking me. And that's another thing, man. Like, you have to know your industry. Like, when I go into it, I know like what an implant is. I know what dentures are. I know what type of implants they have, like all on four, where that's like for older people. Those cases could be $35,000, $40,000. Whereas there's some implant cases that could be like just $1,000, $2,000, So it's really, really about, knowing, like they can feel this kind of stuff too. Like it's from a foundation of abundance and expertise. All this what I'm saying, you know, like I've read the books, I've read the research on my niche. I've read it from the top people, so I kind of know what's going on. I know what they've tried in the past. I know what they don't like. I kind of know what they do like at this point, at least. And so from that, you just kind of got to tweak little things about the sales process for me.
Got it. So Nick, where were you before the mentorship, before we started working together, and where are you now?
So I feel like at the start of the mentorship, I didn't have a clear, I just didn't like the real main thing, bro, was the sales process. Like I said, again, like your mentorship, A, provided very great sales training in the sense of momentum. So I was trying to close them in one call, like just like I merged the discovery and sales presentation into one call. I noticed that just didn't work very well. And even if I did have a good call, it just, they weren't ready for that. Like you need to build some momentum. I love how in your program, you're in Kyle's program, you have a good sequence of events in order to get the yes. And that's not something a lot of people talk about. A lot of people talk about, you know, the little things about sales, like, oh, you got to say this at this point, objections, this and that. But like nobody talks about the big things, like how you need 2 meetings to to get solid closes to build that momentum. Like that's a little tweak that has huge results. And like little things like that, where I would need somebody who'd like done it before me, like multiple times. And I was like, nah, I could probably do it like off one meeting. And then I was like, you know what, I got to try your guys' methods. And not going to lie, like sometimes some of the methods in the mentorship work. Sometimes they don't, because it's a different niche. It's a different industry. It's a different product. It's a different price point. So what work for floats and the float center people might not work for dental people. So that's not important though, because what the mentorship allows you to do is have that like vehicle to be able to achieve that, you know, be connected with the right people so you can ask questions to them. You have peers now who are going through the process just like you, so they're more relatable. Whereas the mentorship aspect, you get, you know, advice from people who have done it but are probably concerned with other things now. But you also get people who, you know, are at the very same level as you, and so they might achieve success, you know, very very at the like a similar time. And so if somebody's achieving success a little bit earlier in the mentorship, well, everybody's going to go get that knowledge and then apply it to their own niche, right? So it's pretty cool in that sense.
Awesome, man. What about revenue wise?
uh Revenue wise, so I landed 2 clients since I joined the mentorship. That's $2,900 per month for
Each?
one of the clients, and then $2,900 per month for the other client. And I haven't started the ads for them yet, but I mean, this guy was one of the easiest closes I've ever had. He just literally, he's like, "Oh, is that the price? Is that for one practice or both of my practices?" And I was like, "That's for one." He's like, "Oh, do you offer a discount if we do the second one?" I was like, yeah, I mean, if you sign up right now, I'll give you a little discount if you sign up both." And he's like, "Yeah, never mind. We'll just start running the ads for a week. And when those are successful, I'll just sign the other one up." And I was like, "Cool." And he just got the card out, like done, just like quick. He's like, "Let's do this," scheduled the onboarding. Very, very quick. So that was cool.
So you got two $2,900 a month deals.
Yes.
Nice. So, and we've been working together almost like we're almost done with 8 weeks. So in 8 weeks, you got $5,800 a month. That's pretty good. Now, if somebody it's in a position where they are thinking about it, they're not 100% sure about doing this, what would you recommend? What would you recommend for somebody that's an agency owner that's on the edge, doesn't know like who wants to do it or not? Because you know it is a sizable investment, right?
Yeah. So for somebody who really wants to do this, I would really take a step back and like evaluate like your work ethic, your real, like really why you want this, because it's not for everybody, man. Like if you like information, this course isn't for you. It's not very information intensive like some other ones. This is a course like if you want to build a business, like if you want the resources, the people that are doing it, you want to like get networking with your peers inside the group, start getting on practice calls, start having your own weekly sessions with the group. Like we started doing that on Mondays where we just talk sales. So it's dope. Like that's sick. Like you have to make the most of those resources, because if you invest in this program and you're not serious, I mean, it's don't do it. You have to really be serious. If you're serious about making this your livelihood, absolutely, like this is what's going to get you like the environment to be able to do that. Whether you use that environment, whether you try to prime your own environment, whether you're meditating, whether you're really serious, whether you have, your journal, whether you like really want this stuff and you're hitting it every day and you're just obsessing about it, this mentorship will make you a millionaire, honestly. Like if you really think about it. But it's not for everybody. It's really for those people who are like just not even motivated. It's just like they just know this is it. They just know, like it's just a matter of time for them when they invest. It's not really like I don't know about this course, that course. Like dude, these guys, the only thing that's holding them back is like making that decision in their life where they're like, this is going to be the thing that's going to get me what I want in my life. This is going to get me whether that's, you want more capital to invest in new business ventures, or you just want a few clients and just live like a really comfortable life, not really worrying about much. Like this can do that. But if you're not serious, definitely don't.
I agree, man. I agree. If you're not serious, this is not for you. And also like the informational side, like the information that we share, like it's action driven, it's action packed. It's not like informational, like a course. This is like an action driven program where you have to do the work every single week.
Exactly. So in terms of what makes it different from other courses will give a lot of material on, like, let's say their video courses. They're like, this is how to make a great ad, this, and this. But what your guys' course is different is and this is going to sound like not a big deal, but it is probably the main benefit of your course would be the community involved. People are responding on the groups. People are friends. People are like hyped for each other's success. People are talking with each other outside. I'm literally texting like a bunch of everybody per day, like every day. Like we're all just like, it's a mastermind of information and knowledge, and it's great. The community is the best part. But the reason the community is the best part is because you have to pay 600 or whatever the amount is. I don't even remember, but you have to pay whatever the course is for you guys, whether it's the 600 or whatever it is. Like that barrier to entry is everything. When you have such a high barrier to entry, only people who care about this are going to get into the program. That means only people who are serious are going to get into the program. And that just makes everybody better because everybody's so like-minded and they're all really they're really, 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 really dedicated to making this a reality in their lives. And it's just everybody views this as not like, oh, well, this might be like, they're viewing it as like, this is what I'm going to do. It's just a matter of time. So I love that.
That's sick, man. And actually that's awesome because that's one of the most important things for me was creating something that the members can add value, right? Like that it's not solely focused on me and Kyle adding values, that it's an environment that is self-sustainable. Like you are adding a ton of value. Nathan is adding a ton of value. Like all the people that are like doing and they're getting great results, like are helping the people that are coming up. So dude, that's phenomenal. Like great work for that, man.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that's great. I think that's all we wanted to focus on. So keep up the great work, and we'll stay in touch. We'll keep up with the weekly call.
Actually, I have one more thing because I wanna give, like, this is a testimonial, right? And I I want to get more so, like, give you the opportunity to give your viewers the chance to, like, where do you see, what's your vision for this? Like, I know you have it going right now and it's going great, but like, if you could give a little bit on the vision where you see this, how you feel about it, like, what's your story behind it, and where do you see this going?
Absolutely, man. I'm glad you're asking. This is what I plan to do. I plan this being like the to go community if you want to build your agency. I want to like completely like dominate the market, right? And that happens with onboarding people that are very serious about their work. So my vision is to have every system put in place, right? Like the minimal amount of information to get you the most amount of results, right? So we'll have like everything very systematized, as you already seen. Like there have been updates after updates. We're always updating, and the vision is being able to help people to start with very little knowledge and don't know like where to go, to being part of the community where they have support and having a business in 8 weeks that makes them a minimum of 5K a month. So that's really like what I want to focus on, is getting that goal. And then like at the end of the day, to me, the impact that we're having in on the entrepreneurs inside of the mentorship, it's incredible, man. Like a lot of friendships have been built, a lot of like great insights, have been shared, not only from us, like from everybody. And so like what I've seen is that a lot of people, like you were mentioning, don't have this community, right? Like they have like a group here and there, but what we're able to build is something that I think has a long-term value and can really like create something great. So yeah, that's my vision. My vision is to help, like minimum this year is 100 entrepreneurs get, to at least 5K a month. And then next year we'll just go up and up and up. And I can't wait to get to 1,000, man. I hope 1,000 people get there.
Wow, man, that's insane. Like, and I feel you on that vision, because you're right. The culture is so important. Like, the culture of the group is everything, because if you can create something that people are excited about, it doesn't matter how well you market it or like, it's going to be great in itself because it's a great product. It's a great service. People will talk about it either way. And we're talking about it right now. And if anybody has questions, you can obviously hit me up on, Facebook or whatever, or if you have any, concerns about the course, obviously I can answer those questions. Or maybe you just want to hop in on one of our Zoom calls, which is kind of a little bit similar to what one of yours, basically. Ours is more for sales, but like you hop in on one of ours, I guess, try to see a little bit about how Agency Mentorship Elite works. And then they're just going to be just so sold. Like, I think, because like when you get that many people and everybody's like, oh yeah, I just closed this client this way, oh yeah, I just booked this appointment this way, you're like, oh shit, like success isn't so weird anymore. Success is like normal. If anything, like failure is a little weird. Not failure in the sense of like not achieving this certain outcome that you want, but failure as in like, giving up, not really caring, kind of meandering along, not really, putting in work. Like that's what I'm talking about with failure. But like with all these other guys, man, like I remember, I think it was Montes, like booked like 14 appointments with his cold calls. I was like, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. Like, that's ridiculous. He did that in 1 week, 14 appointments. Yo, everybody who's listening to this like interview, like what would 14 appointments in your calendar in 1 month, in 1 week do for you? Like if you had 14 potential clients that you're talking to, like imagine that. Imagine your calendar being filled up like that. Like that would change your life. That would literally change your life. And that would not only change your life, but it would change your family lineage, because you will pass that information down to your kids' kids. Like this has the potential to really be something that you can build a foundation on for everybody you care about, everybody you love. Like this could be the thing. So if you're on the fence, then maybe this isn't for you, man. Like maybe it's not for you. It's not made for everybody. That's one of the things I realized, like not everybody's built for this kind of stuff. So, but if you do believe it, prove it. prove it in the game. Join the program, prove yourself to yourself. And then that's all that matters. And you're going to have a community backing you every step of the way. When you post a success, everybody's going to be backing you up. When you post something that you need help on, even more people are going to help you, because we're all about that, like that just genuine mastermind of information, trying to help everybody. Not only, you know, encourage them on the successes, but help them get past those little failures, those small little failures day to day. So, I mean, when you look at it that way, like, are you trying to like build something sustainable for your family and your loved ones? Like, this is the opportunity. You just have to make the decision that you're good enough.
Right.
Simple as that.
And it's good because we put that wall in place. We put that wall that it's like, look, you gotta hop over this big old wall with a barbed wire fence if you want to get into it. You know, like, it's not an easy decision, but it vets people at the beginning. The people in there are quality entrepreneurs.
Yeah, bro. I was talking to my dad the other day. My dad's a banker, took a more traditional finance path. Obviously, he's still a little entrepreneurial and whatnot, but he doesn't really talk too much about like the implications of it. We're more so just on the day to day when we talk. But he's like, you know, if you think about it, Nick, like, this is literally more valuable than a master's in business administration from like a top school in this country, in this, like, in one of the most economic, or if not the most powerful country on the planet, among the best schools on the planet. People will view this, like, people he knows. He's like, people will view what you're doing and put you in a different category than guys who have graduated with MBA degrees, because you have, and everybody else in mentorship, you have proven that you can not only like sell, but you can create a sustainable business. You can get the yes, you can generate a revenue for people, for yourself especially, but for everybody, because the only way to get rich is to make other people rich. So you're making these clients rich as well. And he was just saying, like, you know, think about that. More valuable than an MBA degree. Like, what is an MBA degree? Like, $60,000 a year. What is Agency Mentorship Elite? Like 10 times, 100 times less than that. Like, I don't even know, but like, seriously, are you trying to be great? Are you trying to get real skills, like skills that you can build the foundation of the rest of your business career on? Or are you just like kind of dabbling in this, like, oh, I like this entrepreneur and that entrepreneur? Like, nah, we're here to make money. We're here to like build a livelihood for our families. So it's no games here, man. That's what Agency Mentorship Elite is all about.
Fuck yeah, man. I love it. You said it right, dude. You said it right. I love the enthusiasm, and the reason that you're successful in doing this is because of, like, you know, like the emotions that you put behind it as well. You take this seriously. This is no game. You know, you're there on the calls, you're there sharing value, you're there helping people, you're there doing your own calls, closing your own deals. Dude, keep up the great work, man. I'm gonna let's get you to like the 6-figure mark while in the mentorship, and let's get you to Puerto Rico, brother.
Yeah, baby, let's go. That's gonna be so fun. Oh man, yeah, I can't wait for that. See, guys, like, all of this, like, entrepreneurship is not hard. But you gotta be patient. You gotta be able to be delayed gratification for things like that, man. For things like going to Puerto Rico, like having those big successes, those rewards, like that's what it's all about. But it's also just so fun being in it day to day. It's just so fun. Like, once you get into a flow, you get a little success going, which Agency Mentorship Elite will help you like get those initial successes going. You'll start thinking this is fun, because I know a lot of people probably are like, man, they've probably experienced a lot of bullshit. They've probably like not been able to close certain deals. They've probably not had the knowledge that they need. So now they have a weird concept of what it is, and they probably might not believe in it. They're like, oh man, this sucks. Like, I thought this was going to work, but I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, if you're putting in enough energy, and you know it, if you fucking know it. Like, don't kid yourself. You know if you're putting in enough energy. But if you feel like you just don't have the recipe, if you feel like you know, it's a little bit hard making these to-do lists every day on your journal because you're like, fuck, I like don't really know what I should be focusing on. Invest your money into Agency Mentorship Elite and invest your energy into the course material and the mastermind sessions where we're on the calls. Like if you invest your energy into, instead of into whatever you're doing now in terms of knowledge, and like let's say you're doing YouTube videos or some other course. I did Billie Jean. That course was good for like knowledge, but couldn't like I couldn't close off of that. I couldn't, you know, access a community that could help me like actually get what I needed, and it was more expensive. So you have to be logical about this too. Like it's not weird, it's not crazy to make money. It's not a crazy thing. It happens all the time in this country. It's like everybody thinks it's such a big deal to like build a success. Like it's not. Like it's just a recipe. Stick with it. You'll get it. Simple. It's simple, dude. But a lot of people don't have confidence, and that's a foundational problem. So I don't know if we could help with that. But if you feel like you're like, fuck it, let's go. Like, I got this, then do it. Then do it.
Oh yeah. I love it, bro. Like this was a great testimonial. I appreciate it, man. If there's anything else we can do for you, man, like let us know. But appreciate what you're doing for the community, and let's keep it going, brother.
Absolutely, man. I'm actually looking at that Sam Ovens stuff pretty soon because I want to get into, you know, all these circles, but like hopefully that might be the next step, a little bit of that up level. But yeah, it's cool. The future looks bright. I mean, Maximum Floats is doing amazing. Kyle's about to go to, where was it? Australia?
Yeah, he's flying out to Australia.
See, so like what everybody has to understand is like you guys are doing it. Like it's not like your primary business is a course. Like you guys have closed the deals. You guys have got the franchise client. Like a franchise client could turn your whole life around. Like what was it? How much was that for you?
That does probably like it's a 13K a month client.
Shit. See, like that is crazy. And like you did that. You did it. So if anybody else is trying to do a similar thing with franchises, trying to get in the door, your foot in the door with one, then expand to multiple, like there you go. But like I'm just trying to give as much information for these guys in order to help them make an informed decision, help them understand you, because maybe some of them don't even know what you guys are doing with Maximum Floats. Like I know I didn't really know that much about it till I talked with, I think, Christian or something, but I was like, wow, like this is crazy, this is super cool. And it's beneficial too for them to know that you guys are doing this at a high level, so you guys are qualified to teach.
Right.
There you go.
We didn't do the course first and then the agency.
Exactly. So you did the course after, and then you got everybody involved, and so the community is there. I mean, what more do they need? What more do you need? I don't know. Like, what do you think is really holding people back from this, honestly?
Dude, I think like a lot of people get held back because of past experiences, man. Because what they experienced in the past working with other people, they associate past performance with future outcomes, and they get frozen, right? So if they are able to see that this is not like anything that it's out there in the market, right? I can't even think of another program that it's like ours, you know, with the Trello boards, with like the calls and everything. So I think what's holding back is people like, I have so many programs. Is like, dude, but that's the problem. Is like, this is like the program antidote. It's like all the other bullshit programs that you had, or maybe even the good ones. It's like, put them into action. This is like the action time. It's like you have to do the calls. You have to put that in the calendar. You have to do sales. Like it's gonna like boil all the information down into action, into a roadmap.
Yeah, it'll boil it down to the action, like action size bites that they can like do every day. It'll map it out. And like it's a true mastermind. Like everybody in the group right now has those courses. We've all taken different courses. So if there's some like gap, let's say in your course material, which is possible, like every course has gaps, like there's no gaps because like everybody else has so much knowledge on it. Like for my sales presentation before you guys uploaded that other video, like I was on calls with everybody else asking how they were doing it, what videos they saw they like. I got people giving me stuff from like Mike RC type of that kind of sales strategy stuff. So like you're getting every single course with one course just because of the genuine relationships that you're going to build. And that's a cool feature. That's one of the coolest features because it is like all the courses. Like I have Anissa Holmes Facebook mastery for dentists specifically. That's $1,000. Like you talk to me about it. Like I have, you know, different a view on Facebook strategy as opposed to like some of the other guys. So that's unique. Like, so you could talk to me about that, or you could talk to Christian Catalano about how to get into Facebook groups and really book a ton of meetings just by providing value in niche Facebook groups. He does it for cryotherapy. So like he's booking hella appointments just by doing these little tactics, and like you can learn from everybody in the group like that. So damn, I it's these past experiences. I hope they just, that people realize like there comes a time where you get a little scared because you think this might be it, like this might be the thing. So they're like, fuck, like, damn, what if it doesn't work? What if I think this is it, but I'm not sure? Well, test it out, right? Test it out. You don't have to stay in it forever if you don't think you're getting the value. But
Right.
once you're in it, you're not going to get out because you know you're going to know the value. You're going to know the value.
Right.
Straight up.
I love it, brother. I love it. You got what time? 6:52, bro. You 4:52. You got a meeting. Gotta close that deal.
Yep.
I appreciate everything. Keep up the good work, and we'll stay in touch, man.
All right, Alex, take it easy, bro.
All right, later, brother.
Later.
Perfect.